Hey guys, have you seen any spooks, spirits, or specters? Probably not, but you're probably wondering why I'm dressed up like a Ghostbuster right now. Uh, the reason is we're going to do something a little bit different today. We are going to be doing the Firefighter mod. We are going to be playing as a paramedic, in fact. But we're going to be using a couple other mods from GTA along with it. Those familiar with GTA modding probably are familiar with these mods. It's the Ghostbuster mod and the Ecto 1 mod. Um, Before we go too much farther here, I want to switch over the camera to gameplay here. And before we get going, I would just say there's going to be some desync between my talking and the video. The reason for that being is that I had an idiot moment and I had my mic muted during the video. I had recorded this about half a dozen times and the game kept crashing and just kept giving me issues left and right. And this had been like a perfect take.
Manhattan
I
a medical
wouldn't have needed to run it again, wouldn't have needed to do like any audio or clipping really, but
0102,
it is what it is.
Denver Avenue and Wardide Street.
So as we get going, obviously, I have the Ecto 1. Right now it's in the ambulance slot, so you will see a few more of these throughout the map as we go along. We are using version 0.7 of the Firefighter mod. 0.8 is released, but I wanted to go off something that I knew was stable and that would work perfect for what I wanted. Since the 0.8 release is a little bit different.
Show me on scene.
But you guys do get to see the working medical system here. For the sake of story, we'll say that the Ghostbusters have been called in because there's some sort of paranormal virus or entities that possess people or something. Nobody's really quite sure, but Ghostbusters have been called in to help these people. So as you guys can see, you have the option to check victim and treat the victim or cancel. Now if you check the victim's vitals, it'll take you straight into treat the victim, and it's all in the same area, for better or for worse. I'd say it's probably best, and I would just get rid of the system and just have a direct in, a thing where you can just enter in and enter out. But as you guys can see, is this person's pretty much all but dead. I'll still be able to save them. I was having some issues because I went into
Medic 70 to Manhattan,
check their vitals, and you can't treat them while you're checking their vitals. You actually have to back out and go back in through treat the patient, and that's in the same menu, so it looks exactly the same. So I ended up having called in another ambulance, and those paramedics were able to treat the guy and set him up for transport, and I just transported him back to the hospital with a couple issues,
70 to Manhattan,
which you'll see when it gets to that point.
Not breathing. Current
I thought it might have been bugged,
73.
but yeah, so as you guys can see, I actually just started treating him like right as the paramedics got there, and they start treating him too, and their treatment goes much, much quicker than mine. So we're going to head back out to the Ecto, me and Winston, and we're going to go get a stretcher to transport this patient back to the hospital. So how this is going to work, or how this should work, and I got a little bit thrown off because the patient wasn't inside the ambulance like they should have been, like they are in the normal default ambulance that comes with the mod. It's got to be something with the Ecto, or maybe it's because it's not rigged to work with this particular model. The patient disappeared outside the vehicle, and I wasn't paying attention, this first patient, so I went on without them, and then got confused because I didn't see the marker, because I forgot which desk was the proper desk to drop the person off at.
Medic 70 to Manhattan.
So
patient is ready.
It's
for
a little bit
transport.
different when you're doing the paramedic playthrough. You're playing as a battalion chief on medical call.
Take the patient to Alderney Hospital Center.
Like a normal fire call for the Firefighter mod, you would just call in, update your stats, and then you'd be finished with the call. Well, on this, it's a little bit different. When you go in, you'll call in and automatically say that you're with the patient, and then when you're treating the patient, you have the option to update everybody on their vitals so that everybody knows where it's at. By everybody I mean dispatch or whatever. But then from there, you get the patient on the stretcher, you get him in the ambulance, or in this case the Ecto, and you transport him back. And before you can transport him back, you have to actually update your status like you would end a call as a firefighter, and that will then say, okay, well, you're to go to this hospital. It'll give you the path to go to that hospital as your next objective. And then from there, you take the patient out of the ambulance and take him inside. From there, you get a room assignment to take the guy to, and then you go drop him off to the doctor. Take your stretcher, and then you go sign some paperwork and you leave. And you'll see all of this played the whole way through properly after I get there. Like I said, this first call threw me off a little bit because I didn't pay attention, didn't see the patient, didn't get put in the ecto. And so when I get out with a empty stretcher, I'm quite confused, so I just end the call. Like I said, in the normal ambulance, the one that Gangrene suggested, or Gangrene, I'm not sure the proper pronunciation,
Medic
but the one he suggests to use with the mod, the patient will show up inside the vehicle. So yeah, see, I get out, the stretcher's empty, so I go look inside the door, and he's not sitting where I thought he would be. So I go inside anyways, figuring maybe he's just like a bug and he's invisible. I was totally spazzing out. I didn't even notice the marker. I think I like looked away or something for a second. So I'm thinking, okay, it's got to be a bug. So I pull out the stretcher a couple more times, try ending the call. And as it turns out, he was actually in the ambulance anyways, or the ecto. So I'll talk a little bit about the ecto anyways while we're in between calls here. So as you guys can see, this is the Ghostbusters car, the Ecto. This one's based off the Ecto 1B from the Ghostbusters video game. There's two versions of it in the game. One's got the large ghost trap, which is a large metal cylinder on top. Since it replaces the ambulance, there's actually several of these along the hospital and a couple other points. And if you look at them, one of the versions will actually have that ghost trap. This one's actually modeled off of the original movie, I do believe. Yeah, that one right there in the front's got that ghost trap I was talking about. Actually, all three of these do. And then there's, of course, the Ghostbusters, and that's a separate mod. There's 4 models that you're able to replace other models in the game. In this case, I have FBI, and then the character Anthony replaced with Winston. Egon's costume seems to be bugged. I noticed this towards the end of filming. He's actually wearing Venkman's uniform,
Medic
which is
70,
Bill Murray's character, if you're not familiar with the movie.
Addresses Denver Avenue and Wardide Street.
So we'll respond to our next call, which is Denver Avenue, and that's actually the same place we just responded to, as it turns out. This time it goes a little bit better. Near the end of the video, there's screen's gonna cut to black here, and basically, given the record time was about just shy of half an hour, I decided to cut the video. It was a crash, and I was gonna keep recording if it was like half that time or something, because I wasn't really sure how long I had been playing for. But I decided to cut the video a little bit short. So if I have the chance, I'm not sure how long that recording is gonna be here, I will talk about the update for the next gameplay. Hopefully I'll have that coming out sometime after this one today, but I'm not sure. We'll see how things play out. I still gotta go and run a couple errands today, and I do need to play on Twitch here some, because I've been kind of ignoring that since the whole incident with Twitch getting breached.
Medic 70 to
One of the things I love
Manhattan.
about the Ecto is that it scrapes
Show me
across the
on scene.
ground. It just feels so appropriate for the movie. So, as you guys are gonna see, I'll check the patient's vitals and I'll exit out, and then I'll enter back
Medic
into
70 to Manhattan. Victim
go
is
through the
not
treatment.
responsive and not breathing.
and I will
Current pulse
bring
is
the patient up and
67.
get him ready for transport, and actually transport him this time properly. Actually, I think I'll cut out the end here, and I'll
Remove
just
all
talk about
clothing
the
from
next
patient's
update right
chest.
now, since
Pull red handle to open bag.
for
Look
at least
at
for me right now, the
pictures
video
on
is made and
pad.
there's not a
Peel
huge amount
one
going
pad
on.
off blue plastic.
So
Apply
the next
pad
update's
to
going to
bare
have a
skin,
number of different
exactly
things
as
with it.
shown in the picture. Press
Let me actually
pad
pull up the
firmly.
notes for it here.
Peel other pad off blue
But
plastic.
one of the big ones is probably going to
Apply
be, at least
pad
for
to
me,
bare
is
skin,
the first person
exactly
mode.
as shown in the picture. Press pad firmly. Do not
Okay, so let's
touch
take a look at the
patient.
release notes.
Evaluating heart rhythm.
As soon as we get through this commercial, I'll have them up in front of me.
Stand by. Preparing to shock. Everyone clear. Do not touch patient. Delivering shock.
Okay, so these
Do
are the new
not
features.
touch patient.
First person camera added. That'll be really awesome for a couple of reasons. The biggest one is, for me, is that the hose and some of the animations get a little bit buggy. Now, that's supposed to have been fixed with the fire hose animation. Now, I don't know if that means it won't go behind you anymore, or what exactly that's going to mean for the fire hose, but I'm assuming that's what it'll mean. The other thing, actually there's several other things, but the next thing up would be automatic callouts. Now, like I said in my past videos, that supposedly callouts, a couple people had claimed they're automatic, and that they had actually managed to get the automatic callouts. But I myself have never experienced this, and most other people weren't getting it anyways, so either those people were lying, or they had something goofy going on where they actually managed to get it. But yeah, so the automatic callouts will be installed in now, so when you ready up, there's a chance that you'll just get a random call. They improved the callout selection, which means that there's a lot of complaints about responding to the same instance twice, like we are right now, actually, at this moment. So that's likely to mean more locations, more types of emergencies. Actually, there's exactly that, some new emergencies too, which I'll get into in a minute. And then up next would be improved call-out announcements. So, not sure, I haven't actually played 0.8 yet. Like I said, I'll be installing it here later, today probably, but as it is in the call-out, it's just kind of that, like, the tone out's really awesome, but like the guy is just like obviously like Microsoft Sam or something. Automatic fire alarm call out is now available for all companies. So not all companies in the fire got automatic fire alarms. Now they will. And then there's two new types of callouts: rubbish fire and hazmat fire. Now I'm not sure how hazmat fire is going to work, or if it's going to be like something where you're more likely to get injured, or if it's just like a random thing. I don't know. Rubbish fire, I'm just assuming it's going to be like a street fire, maybe a brush fire or something. I'm not really sure. It'll probably be like dumpsters or something, but there's that, and then the one that's going to interest me the most will be hazmat, depending on how that's implemented. Getting back into the video, though, our patient's all healed up, ready for transport, so we're going to go grab him, put him in the stretcher. So when I go to put him in, he's going to keep bugging out of the ecto. This time I'll notice it. See, so he's standing there floating like right in front of me. So I go out, pull the stretcher out again, grab him. He comes back in, so I'm assuming he's not in, and I accidentally clipped the ecto. Well, I'm getting kind of frustrated by this point, so I just decided to start pushing the ecto with the stretcher. Yeah, I'm about where Egon's at, where he's like, what the heck is going on here? So I decided to have a little bit of fun with it, because these stretchers just push vehicles like they're nothing. Put it back in and just decide, if it's going to play this game, I'm just going to get in, drive to the hospital, and pretend like I have the patient.
Medic 70 to
Well, as it turns out, I sort of do.
The
game thinks I do, even though he's just going to sit there and float.
Manhattan to Medic 70. Roger. Take the patient to
Just gonna repair
Alderney
the car really
Hospital
quick
Center.
and disable the trainer once again, and then we're going to transport the invisible man back. Maybe we're just transporting his spirit back for diagnostics or something. Really love this horn on the Ecto one. It would be really annoying for me on like a normal police car or something really consistent, but having it like a unique vehicle, it's just so awesome and so appropriate for the Ecto. I had to disable ELS on the ambulance though for this video because, as it turns out, the Ecto is not designed to work with ELS, and that ghost trap that goes on the top that I pointed out before was just like appearing and disappearing, appearing and disappearing because of the way ELS works. If you guys pay attention to the cop cars in my video, none of the cop cars have light bars, and that's because they're the default ones at the moment, and they're not set up to work with ELS. So if the cops turn on their sirens, you'll see their lights are like appearing and disappearing, like a strobe effect. In the case of the ambulance, it would be the bull bar on the stock ambulance, or in the case of the Octo one, it's the ghost trap. It seems to be the extra options or whatever, like stuff that's not on the vehicle by default. So here I'll show off kind of how
Medic
it's
70 to
set to work
dispatch.
with
Arriving at the hospital.
the stretcher, treating the patient stuff. And like I said at first, and had I been paying closer attention the first time around, I would have realized this too. I always think it's this desk because this is a desk you have to go to later. But you actually take the patient over here. And you talk to the nurses at the reception desk, or at least one of the reception desks. They'll have you take the patient to the room. So normally you'd have a patient on the stretcher, like I said about half a dozen times now, but just kind of walk down here and you take your patient along with you to meet the doctor and the nurse in the room. So it'll cut to a small cutscene again, and the doctor and nurse will be there. The patient's actually lying on the bed, like you can see, and it is the same guy I had saved. So it's not like you pick up a guy and that's like another random civilian. You actually transport the same person. And then you go and grab your stretcher and go to leave, and then you talk to the doctor again. But there's another doctor. Actually, I guess they're multiplying, but it's not a big deal. I mean, you just go through a second cutscene, you transport out, and you go to sign your paperwork before leaving. Besides, I mean, we're the Ghostbusters, so we're going to get like $5,000 for this call or something anyways, maybe even more. That was just for catching a small ghost. That doesn't even include like paranormal possession. Let's leave my stretcher here so it doesn't quite clip through as much. Just pretend like I'm actually signing the paperwork and everything's in order.
Medic 70 to dispatch. We're now available for calls.
Gun's like, I'm so done with this crap.
Medic 70 to dispatch.
Okay, so
we're now available for
pretty
calls.
much all set to go. We'll grab our stretcher here, and we're gonna head out. So, before the video ended here, I wanted to show you guys a little bit about the car, and then I had planned on going on another call, but things didn't quite work out. I want to show off the car some here really quick, as soon as we get to a decent spot to do so. So like I said before, this is the Ecto taken from the Ghostbusters, the video game, which you can tell by the license plate. It's the Ecto 1B. The Ecto 1A was the one from the second movie, and the Ecto 1 was from the first movie. So we're going to open up all the doors until me and Winston get out. The engine bay is not anything super amazing. It's pretty cool, but I love the back of the car. That's why I think really shines. I'm gonna try and get a good angle here, but you got the computer in the back. You got the 2 jumper seats, which I'm not sure if they can actually be properly used. And then you have the back trunk door, which has like a proton pack in the back on the stretcher. And it's just all really detailed. I would imagine that this is probably more than likely just ripped directly from the Ghostbusters video game, but I'm not really certain of that. And if I'm wrong about that, I apologize, because it is a excellent model. But yeah, I always like to make the car dirty, at least on the Octo, because even though it looks really cool when it's clean, it's the Ghostbusters car, so it's always dirty anyways. So without thinking, I want to disable the trainer here and then re-enable it once I realize that I left everything open.
Manhattan announcing a medical run. Medic 70. Address
And we'll
is
start responding to the
Rand
next call,
Hobbit.
which is actually quite a funny thing. I'll at least let it play up until the point that it freezes, just because you guys get to kind of watch me kind of jump from unexpected results. It is quite hilarious though. And there that is. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch another one of my videos. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was a nice little break from normal Firefighter stuff, even if I've only done a couple. Like I said, swing by again. Hopefully I'll have another video up soon.